Because when I was a kid, being half man, half horse, it was a challenge, you know?
I don't know.
Well, like say I go to the cafeteria, they would just hand me carrots. And I'm like, look, I'm more than a horse. A lot of people don't know the struggles that I went through, you know?
Yeah, I don't think anyone can relate.
Well, they're feeding me so many damn carrots. It's like, I can eat food.
Right.
Like carrot cake.
That's kind of...
It's pretty racist.
Was that hard?
What would that word be called? Where you're
Horsest?
Yeah, that's horses.
Hey, how's it? You know the rules.
Well, since it's flat today, I've got one more spot we should check.
All right. Where is it?
It's right here. But it's super localized. So...
Who texted you?
Whoa. My mom.
She's out here?
She saw on Craigslist that it's breaking.
Sick.
All the old guys post on Craigslist, you know? All right, we're here. Hopefully we don't get beat up.
I got my pepper spray.
I've got my sparkling water. I open the can in their eyes. Ow!
All right, Sterling. Clip. We got a clip. That was at least 6-8.
How's it? Well, I've been freaking crushing it. So far, so good. Just pretty much everything I do, everything we send in is top notch.
Why did you punch that little girl in the mouth?
You wouldn't stand in front of a basketball goal, would you, when LeBron James is going down the line? Same with me. Move it, sister.
How long can you keep this up, Sterling, to serve tour from home?
Well, as long as the church can keep letting Cousin Ryan off and we're able to get the hours we need, I'm pretty sure we can keep crushing this.
Why not join the actual surf tour?
I have acne. I'm working with a dermatologist right now on my acne, and I'll be back soon.
Who's your favorite surfer?
Me.
What's your favorite meal before a big heat?
Carrot cake.
I saw you getting emotional out in the water. Why were you crying?
I just hit 3,000 subscribers on OnlyFans. There's no surf here in Florida. Any more questions? I gotta go home. My cousin Ryan's gotta get back to church.
Why do you keep doing this? Why don't you retire?
Because the ocean chose me. All right, Groms, I gotta get my cousin back to church. We'll see you next week. Mahalo. What day is it?
August 33rd.
It is Occy Day, where we share one of our favorite humans, one of my gurus, one of my favorite gurus. He might have been the first surf comedian ever.
Unintentionally?
Unintentionally and intentionally. Like, he was so funny, but he was like the best surfer.
Yeah.
So he just couldn't help being funny when it was supposed to be serious.
So, where... I've always wondered this, Sterling. When guys are out in the water, and girls,
where, and they're in a wetsuit or whatever, they gotta go. How do they do the dookie?
Gotta go what?
Poop.
What do surfers poop
Yeah, do surfers poop? How do they poop?
in the water?
In the water.
I'd say a lot of them.
They just go for it.
Well, think about how much pressure, like when they're bottom turning, like they're like, it's like all the best surfers, like you watch how good they're surfing, but at the same time they're holding in poop
The whole time.
the whole time. And it's just like, "Ee." It's like, let me out.
I didn't think of that.
So I would say a lot of surfers do what we call water dumps.
That's like a trade secret.
Yeah. And like you look for like a seaweed patch.
Okay.
You look for like a seaweed patch so you don't just like spray
Right.
the whole lineup.
Or like a jellyfish that doesn't sting.
Yeah, like a stingless jellyfish.
Yeah, and you just stick it in its tentacles.
You just poop in it.
Huh.
And then a turtle eats it.
So do you have any horror stories from people or from personal experience?
Well, I remember one time in Bali, it's notorious for like their spicy food. And it like messes everyone's stomach up as soon as you get there. And I had these perfectly white board shorts, like pristine. And yeah, they became brown.
Yeah.
And a kid was like, dude, it looks like you like crapped your pants. And I was like, really? That's weird.
And you were out in the water?
Well, like in and out of the water, I just couldn't stop pooping. And the car started stinking, and they're like, dude, who likes stuffed in crop? And I was like, what an idiot. Who would step in it? That's stupid. But really, they didn't realize my board shorts were white.
So what happens when you're in a wetsuit?
Oof. I've seen a lot of guys not make it
Really?
to the beach.
And they could have gone pro.
If they didn't craft their wetsuit, they could have gone pro. Yeah, I've seen a lot of guys, like, they poop in their wetsuit, and then because of the pressure, it'll, like, rise because of the water.
Yeah. Oh, in the wetsuit.
In the wetsuit. So it goes over their whole body. It's like this.
Oh.
This is something people don't really talk about. The struggles.
Yeah, I mean, most of us civilians just go poop. We're not
Yeah.
out in the water trying to...
Well, when you're surfing 6 hours a day,
Yeah, you got to go.
you either...
Burp it up.
I'm pooping my pants right now. It's a habit.
I'm going to edit that where you go...
It's a habit.
I never knew that.
But yeah, like, when you're surfing 6 hours a day,
Yeah.
like, it's gonna hit.
And you're in Bali and you just had some taquitos.
Yeah, like when I was in Puerto Rico, it's just dunes, you know? So it's like, there's no bathrooms there. So you have to learn to poop in the environment.
Okay.
You have to learn certain spots on the reef.
Some good reef scrub. What is the natural toilet paper out there besides seaweed?
Like, I'll use like a Kook's rash guard.
Just take it.
Give me that. And he can't say anything because I'm pro.
Yeah, he's like, any more poop stories? Who was it, that pro surfer that pooped his pants and you had to help him?
Famously.
Yeah.
In the contest.
Yeah.
I think it was McFanning.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
Mick Fanning.
Because he's so serious. Like, before heats, he's known for, like, doing lots of squats.
Right.
And I think he, like, overused that squat muscle where...
Let his ego get in the way of his...
It was loose. Loose stools.
He thought it would tighten, but it did the opposite.
And, like, he did this cutback and just...
Ripped.
You can find it somewhere. They try to, like, delete it, but I think it's somewhere online.
For real?
Yeah.
No way.
He just, like, fully shat. Well, but he's so serious. He's like, I need this. I need this win. I bet a lot of girl surfers
Poop their panties.
Yeah, because think about it. They're wearing those thongs.
Yeah.
And it's like
And everyone
sandy.
drinks coffee before they go out.
Right.
So they're like...
Between coffee and thong, They're for sure secretly water dumping.
Right.
Or they're pushing it the other way
Just
and causing like long-term effects.
who was that one guy you were with out in the water when it happened? Was it Laird? Larry Hamilton?
It was Laird.
It was Laird.
Laird like infamously shot the pier in Malibu.
Shot something.
And you know, he has his coffee, Laird coffee stuff.
Laird coffee beans.
He was like, it was right when he was starting that, and he like took too much.
He just eats them.
And you know how he's so big, and he was going through the pier with his paddle, and it hit the back of the paddle, and like he just, and they have it on film somewhere. He was on the news about it.
He was?
Yeah, like
He kind of could find the comedy.
well,
in it.
he got in trouble for ocean dumping. Like, especially being a celebrity,
Right.
like you can't just,
crap under the Huntington Pier.
yeah, you
Right.
have to. So they caught him water dumping. Like
It's on his record.
like the Dave Matthews Band. Remember when they did it?
Yeah.
They like dumped all their poop off the boat.
Right.
Yeah, they caught Laird doing it too, and it's really been like a shadow on his career.
So it's on his record.
But he was experimenting with his Laird coffee, you know.
Yeah, I don't hold it against him.
He took like 3 ice baths that morning, and his sphincter froze.
Right. Couldn't
So
even feel it.
When he was under the pier, the adrenaline took in, and then it just like released. One thing people don't really know is I wrote the hit song Banana Pancakes by Jack Johnson.
Did you really?
Yeah, I think it won a Grammy.
That's one of his best songs, but it's your song.
Yeah, and I haven't been paid yet. He says that the check should be coming pretty soon.
Really? That was written in like in the 90s, I think. Well, you
Yeah.
wrote it, you would know.
Well, I think Jack doesn't have like internet, so like getting a check takes a little longer.
So you guys were eating banana pancakes together.
We were about to surf Rocky Point,
Right.
and I was like, Jack, the best before surf meal is banana pancakes. He's like, really? And I was like, yes. It's got the fiber, it's got the potassium, it's got the gluten, and when it's all mixed up,
Right.
it creates a perfect protein.
And it's sweet. So it's fun.
Yeah.
So you told him that, and he just...
And we were out surfing, and I was like, make a banana pancakes. He was like, whoa.
Do that again.
He's like, do it again. I was like, make a banana pancakes, pretend that it's a Friday now.
No.
And he changed that line to weekend.
Oh, you said Friday now,
Yeah.
and he changed it to weekend.
Yeah. We were surfing, and I could go, make a banana pancakes. And like, that was like our thing. We would like whisper it in each other's ear
It
and
was
stuff.
like an inside joke.
Yeah. That's when he realized, like, this is going to be a hit song.
Right.
And I was like, shut up. No, it won't. He's like, it will. Trust me. And his life has never been the same.
He tuned up his little ukulele and...
Make a banana pancakes, pretend that it's the weekend now.
Dude, I love that song.
So good.
So I've heard about pro servers, Quivers. They're Quivers.
Hmm.
And I've heard they can get pretty, like, extensive. How many surfboards do you have?
One.
You have one? Well, what are these?
Well, we're all one.
We're all one? Stupid.
This is 12th dimension stuff you might not
Oh,
understand.
so that's 4 surfboards, but it's one.
right.
Oh, okay.
Everything is one. You want to check it out?
Yeah, let's see it.
You want to hold half of it? Let me put this tiny basketball. Oh.
So just hold it.
Oh my god. So, this is my board, right? This is my favorite board right now. It's an album,
You could cheat to this camera.
plasmic. It's the lightest thing you've ever felt. It's 5'2". It's like the perfect small wave board.
So why is a smaller board better for smaller waves? It seems like you'd want a bigger board to be able to Get
Well,
get some.
depends on your skill level.
Oh, left that part out.
Like, look at these channels. Look at those channels. So between the channels and the two twins, it like creates like a tiny fin in the back. So it's got like
When you're moving?
Mm-hmm. So twin fins are notoriously like loose because there's so much space between them.
Yeah.
But when you got these channels, it's like a baby fin. So it holds super good. And this is dark arts technology. So it's like lighter
Let me
than.
see.
It feels like it's flowing up.
Yeah, it's almost like hard to keep down.
Yeah.
It keeps wanting to go up.
But I'm working on a model right now with the album called The 12th Dimension.
You could set it on that couch thing if you want. Okay. Yeah, talk about album. What's up with that? That's your new board sponsor?
It's my new sponsor. They were the only ones that could shape in the 12th dimension.
Oh.
So that was really eye-catching to me. We've been stuck in like a 3-fin era for a while. And twin fins are actually a lot better. But we haven't... They're a little old school because we haven't been tinkering with like new designs. So like I feel like we're catching on to like designs with twin fins where it's working better than 3 fins. Because 3 fins, like, they're really good, but they also have like limitations, like just with speed and flow. So I feel like that's kind of like the path I'm on, trying to like ride twin fins better.
So would you say surf culture's kind of gotten stuck, like in the twin fin, like it
In the 3-fin.
the 3-fin?
So yeah, I feel like we were stuck in a thruster air reverse era for a while, and now everyone's kind of realizing like
Not
it's
cool
boring.
anymore.
It's just boring.
It's boring.
Like I remember I did so many air reverses, and then one day I was just like, I quit. I'm not gonna do another air reverse.
Explain what an air reverse is.
It's a 180
Backside?
front side to backside. It's a 180, and you land backwards and spin out,
Land backwards. I've seen you land a ton of those.
or a full 360.
And they're just not cool anymore?
Just everyone does them every wave.
Right.
And there's just like no... I think the beauty of surfing is letting the wave be the center point, and whatever the wave is doing, you're reacting to it perfectly.
Instead of forcing that
Instead
trick.
of forcing an air reverse or forcing an alley-oop. Now everything is just forced. And acrobatically, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But it's not like... it's not surfing. It's almost like a new sport. It's like ski surfing.
Yeah, you're out there friggin' snowboarding.
Which is cool. Like, I think it's just like as I get older, you know, like
Yeah.
you don't want to play the air guitar your entire life. Like you eventually want to like play jazz or play something like more meaningful and soulful. And so I feel like everyone's kind of on their own surfing path. Like there's not necessarily like a right or wrong.
Is there like an air reverse god out there that does it? Who's known for the air reverse king? John?
Yeah, John does good airs where they're big and like stylish.
What about his brother Nathan?
He can do airs. He's more of he has really big thighs. So he just does more like giant waves.
Big turns.
Yeah, just big. He surfs big waves.
Beefy turns.
But air reverses, I feel like, you know, like Felipe, Italo, like every heat they can do an upside down air reverse.
And it's like...
But when you watch like Tom Curren or Occy, kind of the godfathers of modern day shortboarding, their connection to the wave, it's like insane to watch.
You can see it because you know what to look for, right?
Yeah, maybe like if you don't surf, you can't see it, but if you surf, you realize how hard it is to their timing and like their connection and like to do everything so smooth where you're barely moving. Like that's so much harder than flying down the line like a maniac and airing and So it's a completely different sport. Like, and I like Tom Curren. He's got this wave from Jeffreys Bay, and they call it the best wave ever ridden. And he's at Jeffreys Bay. It's a long right point break, and he's on like a 7.2, which is a giant short board. It's like a quad, and he's surfing it so fast. He's surfing it faster than guys now on like tiny boards, which are made to go fast.
Right.
So just the level of expertise and like his level of knowing waves, it's like if you gave any pro that board now,
Right.
they could barely bottom turn on the board, and he's going like barrel, like not even looking when he's in the barrel, like, and it's like Occy and Tom Curren are more like surf Jedis. Like it's way different. They're beyond pro surfing. Like
Right.
pro surfing now is more of like an extreme sport.
Right.
Then it was like a once in a lifetime watching someone mastering the ocean.
Wow.
And that's the difference. That's why I love these boards, because it's more about like mastering the ocean rather than like how inverted I can get.
Well, but to me, it sounds like you're saying like you said, the wave is what you need to follow the wave, where they're trying to carve whatever they want.
Yeah, they're forcing whatever they want, and I think it's just like when you're young, you have so much adrenaline and
Right.
all that stuff, where it's like
Go for the big one.
it's more about you.
Right.
And then as you get older, you realize like it's not about you. Like life is not about you. Like the ocean is not about you. And just then learning to be a part of it rather than be it. And you can just tell when guys are surfing, like when they finish a wave, it's like some guys when they finish, they're like, you know, it's like me.
Right.
And then if you watch like Tom and Occy back in the day, it's like this. It's
Respect.
about the ocean.
It's like respecting the ocean, not. Interesting. I never knew about all that.
And I feel like, you know, this culture is the age of like mental health issues.
Mm-hmm. Starting to get more recognized.
And I think it's because we're so into ourselves, like rather than we have social media of ourselves, we have this of ourselves,
We
everything.
have cameras on us.
We have podcasts on ourselves. And it's just like when you're just so constantly worried about yourself 24/7, like that causes mental issues.
Right.
Because like look at nature, like it's so calm and peaceful. Like
Well,
we're made of the same stuff. Like, but we get so wrapped up into our like identity
Right.
of like I need to be something. And it's like, so surfing has taught me through my career to just enjoy being part of it rather than being it. Because as long as you're it, you'll never. I start crying. I've been trying to be it. But I feel like Tom Curren and Occy are at the top of my like
Tier.
like if there's like a black belt system, I would say they're at the top, and then I'd say it's like Rob Machado and Kelly,
Yeah.
and then it kind of like trickles down. Like I would say I'd say Tom Curren and Occy are almost like the same person, but goofy and regular. And Aki's like a lot bigger.
Right.
He's got his calves are like this big,
Oh,
so he's a bit more powerful.
Built like a fridge.
But yeah, when I still watch their surfing, and I'm just like, wow. And surf movies now, they're just becoming so monotonous. There's no, which I feel like is why I feel like surf movies are dead now.
Why?
Well,
is it because of the internet and everybody's just pumping out clips?
Well, we've been making surf movies for 30 years now, like modern day
ones, yeah.
shred movies, 20 years, 30 years. And I feel like the way technology is changing our brains, like it's like we can't watch a surf movie anymore. That's what it feels like. It doesn't entertain us. Like I'm sure some old surf dogs. I love watching like old surf movies of like Tom and Naki, but like Dane Reynolds just came out with a wonderful surf movie.
Right.
It's like it's good, everything's great, but it's like it's all been done.
Right.
It's like I can just like I know he had like a big budget to make this movie, and like it comes out and you just it's not the same response anymore. Like
Right.
10 years ago, like if I did a movie, it was like it was like all you talked about all year long.
Right.
And now it's like when you make a movie, you're almost like shooting yourself in the foot because people want to be in your lives
I know.
weekly,
It's weird.
daily. They don't want to see your life in a full year.
I was just listening to a podcast about that, how like back in the day, like Harrison Ford was Indiana Jones, and that's how you knew him. Now it's like if that movie was made now, Harrison Ford would have to have an Instagram. You'd have to see like what he's cooking today.
Yeah, it's like more about your hobbies.
Yeah, they want to feel like I watch podcasts, and I feel like if I ran into like Rick Glassman or Bobby Lee or Theo Vaughn, I would feel like I know them, and they're like, "What the heck?" Like,
Yeah.
but that's what the way it is now. Everybody wants to be in your bubble from a distance, I guess.
Yeah, so I feel like if you are doing a movie, it's got to be like totally bananas, like so big budget,
But even then, the attention span.
and it has to be on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
Like it can't go on you. Like if it's YouTube, it just has. People just want to be in your life
Right.
and like live with you. But like
That's true.
surf movies, like getting cool artsy shot, like the whole movie feeling like a student art film, like that's over. Like people are done experiencing surfing that way, and
Crazy.
it is crazy because
Well-
like it's a beautiful, you know,
Like medium.
I loved making surf movies, and
Well, I even remember when you were making Surf Madness, it was starting to get that way. Like it was like
too surfy.
no, like it was getting to where like this will just get posted, and then whoop.
And
Like
that,
in a way, it wasn't fully that way yet.
and that what interesting. That was one of the first online free movies,
Right. Surf movie.
And I did notice that it's like everyone saw it. Like I think it got 1 million views right out of the gate,
Dang.
which was crazy at the time.
Right.
But you also showed how quick it will disappear.
Right. In a
Like-
month, it's like. But that was the start of it. I think there was still a little bit of that surf.
Well, with Surf Madness, we had Pinch My Salt blog going the whole time. So
Right.
you were kind of living through the movie through
Right,
that. So
behind the scenes.
that was kind of everything. I thought that was a good formula, like as far as like surf culture stuff.
Wow, that's depressing.
So surf movies are dead.
Surf movies out there.
It's you just have to evolve.
Yeah, everything's changing. I mean, in 10 years, it'll be different.
The question is, what is it? You know, like,
Some sort of glib glob, like.
well, vlogs, guys seems like more successful with vlogs.
Like Jamie O'Brien kind of thing?
Yeah. And that's almost like the other side of the spectrum, where it's almost like forced a little bit because you can only think of stuff.
I know.
It's like, today we're jumping off a roof with an umbrella. And
Well, it's like that Casey Neistat dude. He like burned out. Like it's like, okay, how many helicopters can I jump out of? How many how many times can I be lifted by a drone over a?
So I think then it starts feeling contrived, you know, like,
Right.
hey guys, today we're gonna, and like, that's just not like natural
No.
life. So I think vlogs I think it's somewhere in the middle maybe of everything, you know, like
Right.
living your life through them. We love that. I think that's what people want.
That's cool. Good thoughts, Sterling.
Who is our favorite person?
Our favorite person in
in
the world is Occy. Uncle Occy is what we call him.
Uncle Ock.
He is the funniest dude. The first time I ever met Occy, we were going to Peru for a Surf with the Pro Billabong thing. They flew us all out there. It was you, me, Occy. We met at this airport. We were like, had our backpacks on. We were walking around, and you pointed at me. You're like, "That's him." And I looked down, and there was this like beast laying on a.
It is true. He's not a human.
No, he's like this.
He's like a real life Viking, but
Yeah.
he's short.
And he lives in the 2000s.
Yeah, he's like a hobbit.
So I just saw dreads and like garments, shredded garments, and he gets up like he was like this, and he goes,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I was so nervous, and then we got in a van and we drove to the Chicama Beach Resort.
That's us in Peru. That's when he was exchanging.
That was when he
He's
was
giving me the powers.
Yeah. He transferred powers that week.
I remember that
Just for a week.
I remember that night. It was like midnight. He's like, we need to get street culture, and we just booked it in the middle of the town just to like mix it with the people's.
Yeah, he was
And
like, let's
no
go
one was
downtown.
around.
And I remember there was this car, and he like tried to get into it.
There was like,
Do you remember that? There was some person's car, and he like opened the door and sat in it for a second, and we were like, what are you doing? And he's like, and he got out. And
I remember he was real big on respect of being in like a new city because everyone knows him, you know?
yeah,
So he wanted to like give back, like
Right.
share his time with people.
to the village.
But no one was up.
it was like 10 o'clock. It wasn't even late.
It wasn't even late.
We're like, let's go say hi to people. And they had to like turn on the lights and open up
Yeah,
places.
the guy opened up his restaurant and no one was around. So then we were just like
alone.
blasting music. And I remember I just turned vegan and I felt super strong. And I was like,
You
I'll
were
arm wrestle everyone.
You were super ripped.
And I remember we arm wrestled, but I think I cheated. I think I put my hand and I was like,
Oh, you guys weren't
'Cause
holding
Occy's
double
so
hands.
much bigger
You're supposed to
than
do this.
yeah. He's so much bigger than me.
Yeah, look at him checking you out because he's like,
Yeah, nah.
how'd you beat me, mate? So I'd ruin the story.
But I remember like somehow I beat him and he hurt his legs.
He
So
goes,
he's like,
"Ma-
Fight to the death.
It's on video. He goes like, my leg hurts.
like and he couldn't surf the next day because he's
You hurt his leg. You broke Occy.
like tweaked his thigh. Like,
Yeah. And then you guys did like I think a push-up contest.
yeah.
You were
I remember the next day we were.
Look at that.
I don't know what happened.
Happened to me.
I remember we were surfing the longest left in the world,
Oh yeah.
and I was trying to pedal, and it was so sore. Like,
So one of my favorite videos from that trip is the Occy singing video. You're the best.
oh, when we put the microphone on.
Yeah, we had one of those wireless water mic-y things.
Yeah. The stuff he
He
was
didn't even
saying.
know we put it on him.
Yeah.
We had put it in one of his dreads, and he didn't even know.
Oh man, like the stuff he was saying. Do you have that still?
Yeah, we can watch it.
You're the best around, Ock. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down, Ock. You're the best, Ock. Around, Ock. Nothing's ever gonna bring me down, Ock. I'm the best. Easy now, Ock. Remember, these doggies are more scared of you than you are of them. Nice doggy. Nice. Yeah, and they were just so menacing looking. Yes, I know what you were talking about. My friend, Steven. 81 of my brothers and sisters. 81. They killed them. Yep. Sorry to hear that.
The big one is FLASHBACK Boomerang.
Flashback.
So I remember we were on the flight. Here's the thing about Sterling. Sterling is going on a surf trip. He's not going to not get some content, okay? So
Professional.
We had brought, what do you call the shirts to the neck?
turtlenecks.
No. Turtlenecks, coonskin hats, caps,
Coonskin hat.
glasses, all these funny props for Occy to wear, just praying that he would do what we asked.
I remember I found my old
The raccoon hat or whatever.
the raccoon hat. And I was like, what if Occy had like a skunk hat on
Dude,
and he was my father?
yes. It was genius. So on the airplane, we were sitting, I think we were in first class, or maybe whatever the other one is. And
Coach.
we just, coach. I mean, yeah, coach. And we like wrote the script out, like while we were flying there, of him being your dad and all this funny stuff.
And it was funny because he had no idea
No.
that I had this ready.
Yeah, you didn't like text him before, like, hey,
You
would
can't get a hold of Occy. Like he doesn't do emails.
He lives in a cave.
He doesn't text.
Right.
If you call him, I think like his wife like hands him the phone.
Or goes to Billabong, goes to his wife.
So he's super old school. So remember when we get there, it's like I just did a tour with him for Still Filthy, the Billabong movie.
Right.
So I spent like months with him. So I was like, I'm pretty sure he'll do it.
Yeah.
Because he's so fun. And
you guys kind of had some good times on that trip, too. Like, I remember seeing footage of you doing a handstand into the...
Yeah, we, on that trip, we'd eat chicken wings every morning and Coors Light in the evening. And, like, we did karaoke every night. Like, Occy had to do karaoke wherever we went.
Yellow bus.
So we did karaoke every night, ate chicken wings. We tested every chicken wing from here to New York City. Like,
tested.
Serious. Every morning, he'd be like, chicken wings, please.
He's a chicken winger.
Chicken wings. Yeah, being around Occy is just, he was always like
Your rock.
Occy was like, he was my favorite surfer of all time.
Growing up.
Yeah.
So when you were around him, it was kind of like this amazing...
He was just, like they say, never meet your hero.
Right.
Like,
they'll let you down.
Yeah, like he was even better.
Right.
Like, he was so personable, and he's a walking comedian.
He doesn't even know it.
It's
right?
like sometimes he knows it, and then he doesn't.
He just said the funniest thing ever, and he's just...
But he does like time jokes, and sometimes you don't get him, and he's like... And he'll nudge you, like...
And you're like, what?
But yeah, he was like... he's one of my favorite people ever to be around.
So he didn't know that you had all these plans.
He had no idea that had a full movie.
Yeah.
And he was so tired. He was like... he was web announcing. So he just did like 3 contests for Billabong.
And he thought he was going to just chill in Peru and hang out with some dudes.
And I had like cameras ready.
Yeah.
Everywhere he was, I was like, "Can we just film you in a turtleneck sitting in a jacuzzi with a?" And he's like,
I remember the first night we asked him, and he was like, "I don't know." And then he went to bed, and he woke up the next morning. He's like,
"I'll do it."
And so it was on, and we started filming. But we would film, and we would kind of lie, and be like, "This is the last. This is it." and then an hour or two would go by. I'm like, "Can you put this back on
one more
and do pogs with us?" And he's like,
"Yeah, we had to play chess, pogs."
Yeah. And then I think the grumpiest he was was when you made him go out into the desert and run around. Because I remember him just being like, "Is this it?" And like, I was like, "One more time," and I felt stressed because I had to nail every shot because he wasn't gonna retake it.
Because he was so.
Yeah.
He's like, "What am I filming?"
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever even seen it.
He's never seen it. Flashback Boomerang. And then we had to be so nice to him, like bring him Coronas and like.
Yeah, we had to butter him up every day.
Like make him feel
we'd
so
feed
happy.
him, wipe his face.
Yeah, I was massaging his shoulders. He'd be like, "Yeah, right."
And we had to drive to that one wave, which was like a 2-hour drive.
And the waves sucked.
And it was like kind of better.
No, the waves sucked that trip, didn't it? The whole time, pretty much.
Slow,
for you guys, you and Occy, like the dudes that were there were having a blast. I would have had a blast.
Yeah, it wasn't great for filming.
Yeah,
but it was fun.
We got some clips.
I remember the final night.
Oh my god!
Or the final day.
The final day, you guys had to do this big speech in front of all the surfers, like thanking them, and because Billabong makes you do it. Yeah,
we had like an ending ceremony.
We had roasted a pig.
Yeah,
Occy had killed it, and so we roasted the pig.
So then, like, we needed Occy to narrate the film.
Right.
So
I think the intro to the film.
Yeah. So I had a script written out.
Yep.
And it was the end of the evening. We're talking like we're all so tired.
And we're done. We're flying out tomorrow.
We're flying out in the morning.
Right.
And we are hiding behind the bushes.
Yep.
And we're like, I'm like, I need this, Ryan.
Right. And I had my like Zoom thing ready.
So you had...
No, I had a boom mic.
You had
that's
a boom ready.
Yeah.
I had the script. He's so tired. And I'm like, Occy, read this, please. And he's like, okay.
So wait, hold on, back up. So he approaches us, and he's pissed. He doesn't want to do it. He's tired. His room is like 20 feet away. We blocked his doorway.
The trip is over. He's ready.
He's done with the turtleneck. He's done with the stupid skunk hat, and he's literally can probably see his door, and we're blocking the door.
Hey,
Last
what is that? Is it like a freaking release?
No, you just read it.
Just read it.
You can't do that to me.
It's ambush.
It's ridiculous.
It's just one sentence.
Far out. You kidding me? Burrow, it's me, your father. What can I say? Okay, let's do it again.
You got it.
Burrow, it's me, your father. What can I say? I haven't really been there for you, but how can I? You can't laugh, man.
Sorry.
Can't keep reading
Just
it.
read it in.
Last one, we won't.
Yeah, we won't.
But you guys, seriously, this is so sucking right now. You know, I can read. I mean, I used to be able to read. Burrow is your father. What can I say? I haven't really been there for you, but how could you? How could I? How could I look at you? You're nothing like me. I just realised that. You, Sterling.
Just start.
You, Sterling.
Start right here. I mean, look
so
at
are sucking right now.
I'm sorry.
No. No. It's so sucking right
You want to
now.
hold it?
No. So look at me. Like, what is it again? Where am I? You're nothing like me. I just realized the Swiss. What is it? The Swiss? So yeah, look at me. I just went parasailing in the Swiss Alps for 3 weeks. But anyways, you'll never find me.
Well, the funny thing about that clip, I love listening to that, is because he's so mad at the beginning, but he just loves it the whole time.
Yeah, it's like he was so mad at us, but laughing his ass off. Like
we laughed all three together so hard for like 15 seconds. We love you, Occy.
I think that's like the magic of him. Like even at his maddest,
he's still a sweetheart.
he was like loving life.
Yeah.
He's
That-
just like he's like a mythical creature. It's like
Yeah.
he lives in another dimension.
He lives in like the caves of Mordor or something, and
Caves of the Gold Coast.
he comes out to see us all up for a little bit. So, real quick, let's back up to Flashback. What was so cool about that film? Like, maybe we'll use clips of it. So, the concept behind that was just you and Occy are reuniting as a father and son.
Yeah, Flashback Boomerang was me finding my dad for the first time.
He was hiding from you.
Well, in my mind, Occy, he was like this dad that was like too busy for me off doing legendary stuff.
Right.
And I finally like stepped up to the plate because I wanted to be a legend.
Right.
So I found him and like challenged him to I'm challenging him to Pogs, challenging him to chess, like,
running.
trying to earn his love.
He's teaching you how to boomerang.
And then he has a accident with the
Right.
boomerang. So then it's like, I finally met my father. I'm challenging him, and then he accidentally kills himself.
Right.
And it's his
horrible.
last words. And I was like, "Do you have any regrets?" And he just did Dancing with the Stars.
Right. Australian version.
Yeah, the Australian version, and
Dude.
they were so mean to him.
Dude, I watched that footage on YouTube. Made me so mad.
But you're not just a goofy-footed surfer, you're a really goofy-footed dancer.
I really like that.
It was like,
I wanted to be Occy's champion and beat those judges.
well, it's like, this is a legend.
Yeah, you don't
You know,
talk
like-
to Occy like that.
Like, okay, like he didn't reach the par of
Dancing.
like ballroom dancing. Like, do you really expect?
Well,
they just tore him a new one, and
he was kind of
and he's so nice. He was just like, it was just like rough to watch.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make fun of that for him, to kind of like, like take the piss out of it.
right.
The
The sting.
So yeah, he's like laying there and he's like, I'm like, do you have any regrets? He's like, Dancing with the Stars.
And then he,
You have any regrets?
Dancing with the Stars.
Well, when I first met Occy, I was doing a Grom contest. It was actually a Billabong camp. So like from each region of the world.
how old were you?
16.
Oh, wow.
So like they took me from Florida. They had East Coast guy, West Coast guy, and then like Brazil. So I was with all the best surfers from all over the world, 16
Dang.
and under. And Occy was our teacher. And it was so funny because like he's just Occy.
Right.
So we would be like sitting around like, where's Occy? And he would like stumble in. He's like, there's only one thing you need to know. You just need a cutback. And then
That's it. You just need a good cut bang, boys.
And then Luke Egan, another famous surfer, he was our coach too. And it's like these guys they knew how to do it, but they didn't know how to tell you to do it. I remember Luke sitting with me. He's like, you need to know where your stomach is. And I'm like, I'm 16.
I know where my stomach is.
And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, if your stomach is right, your surfing's right. And I was like, 16. I'm like, there's so much I wanted to know and figure out.
Right.
Contest-wise.
And they didn't give it to you.
And they didn't know how to tell us.
What else did Occy say?
Well, I remember I was at Kira, this perfect right point break.
Okay.
And I'm in this tube.
Yeah.
And I was going. And then, like, all of a sudden, Occy, he was paddling. And his face was right in my face. And it was like time slowed down.
Wow.
And he's like, far out. And then I just kept going. And I was just like, Occy just said far out while I'm in like the sickest barrel.
Dude.
And in 16-year-old's head, I was like, time slowed down. It felt like a minute. We talked. It felt like for 1 minute we had a conversation. All he said was far out.
Far out.
And in Australia, he is like a god.
That's cool.
He's like the Michael Jordan of Australia. So like, I'd be at the mall and I'd see Occy, and he's just like the mall. He'd like run into a trash can, like he's just like
he's like a mystical creature, dude.
But
I had a moment like that with Rob Machado.
What happened?
We were surfing out in front of his house in California, and I caught a wave. And I didn't think, and you guys were all on the outside catching the bigger stuff, and I just stayed inside. And I was on one of Rob's brother's board. I don't remember his name, but he fat shamed me. And I caught it.
Oh, Chubby Jesus.
Yeah, Chubby Jesus let me borrow a board and a spring suit. What do you call it? And I caught a wave and stood up, and I went down the line, and Rob went over the wave and gave me the shaka. And I was like, that was my Occy moment.
A funny
Just
story.
got chills.
Funny story about Rob's brother. I called him Chubby Jesus. We're at Rob's wedding, and Rob's brother is special.
Yeah.
Like, he just says what he thinks.
He's funny.
And me and Rob had the same manager at the time, Justine, and she brought her boyfriend. So we're at this beautiful table, like a wedding table in wine country. And he's about to give
he's the best man.
Yeah, he's the best man. He's got a microphone. And right before he talks, he looks at the boyfriend. He's like, who are you supposed to be, Chubby Jesus?
Who did he say that to?
Justine's boyfriend. Rob's manager's boyfriend. And everyone's like,
not funny. Like,
yeah, well, it hurt the guy's feelings.
Oh, no.
Because he was kind of chubby.
Right. Dude, he called me chubby, too. You know what? I think he's insecure. Because he's got his own personal issues.
So
what's his real name?
What's Chubby Jesus' name?
No, Rob's brother.
Jim? On the spot.
Jim? It's just something basic like Rob.
I can't remember. I call him Chubby Jesus now,
All
so
right.
I can't remember.
Sorry, Rob's brother. We'll get your name. He's a sweet guy.
So then...
So he hurt the Chubby Jesus guy's feelings.
We're at Rob's wedding, And he gives the best wedding speech.
Ever.
Everyone's like crying, but this poor guy, he
got up
can't
and-
think of. He's just Chubby Jesus.
I guess I'm Chubby Jesus.
So then the next day,
Chubby Jesus.
I see him. He's like, "Hey, Chubby Jesus."
He called you that?
No, I called him that. So he's a high school teacher.
That's right.
He's a high school teacher and a baseball coach
Right.
for the school. And he's like, "I just got Instagram." And I was like, "Let me see it." And I changed his name to Chubby Jesus. And all the kids at school followed him.
Because of that?
And they're like, so he said he was in the classroom and people would be like, "Chubby Jesus." He'd be like, "Who said that?" And he said the entire school to this day calls him Chubby Jesus. He doesn't have a name anymore. It's Chubby Jesus.
Don't we have a funny voiceover of him?
Yes, that's so. Yeah, like we have footage of him like pointing at me, like, "Hey."
Yeah.
Personally, I only go
yeah,
out
that's right.
right on the outside
That's
where
right,
the
right.
big ones break.
Oh, wait, is that
it,
Spencer?
You know? Oh, never mind.
So are we going out?
No, we're not going out.
No?
Chubby Jesus
All right.
is out there.
Jim. He has a sweet pizza.
That's the dad's name, Jim.
Oh.
What's our clip of the week?
Our clip of the week is sent in, actually, I didn't want to tell you this, but your ex-wife, Shaquila, sent this in. And it's a good one.
Do people know about my ex-wife? Shaquila,
We'll talk about it one day.
Shaq's daughter.
Yeah.
She broke my heart.
She broke your heart. All right, let's watch the clip.
Jitterbug out of my brain. Hey Danny, nice floater yesterday. Hey Billy, get the toe side up. Hey, get some tubes, boys. The jitterbug's in my fucking brain. Gosh, it's good.
All right, Sterling, I think that's good for today.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming. Let's get in position. Let's align our chakras. Pinch my soul.
How's it? Thank you for watching Pinch My Salt, the hit podcast of the world's #1 surfer, Sterling Spencer. You know the rules. Subscribe and tickle that like button. Pinch My Salt.